Let's bring Chris Baur in on this, industry chairman of the U.S. Helicopter Safety Team, also former Army helicopter pilot, co-chair of the steering committee for the U.S. Helicopter Safety Team. So that's a good way of saying you got a lot of expertise in this area, and you've probably watched the same video we've all had. And have you come to any conclusions on what may have happened here?
Well, as always, I don't want to speculate and let the NTSB do their job. I could say that I've flown the Bell 206 and have a considerable amount of time in it operating in New York City. And it's a very safe, proven aircraft. So it's a very unusual accident. There's things that I guess have my attention that I would be looking at. One of them are, pilot incapacitation. Could that have happened? From what I've seen, the pilot was a former Navy SEAL. Could he have become incapacitated due to a bird strike? Right now, it looks like there's migratory birds that are in the New York City area, plus there's a pretty healthy bird population to begin with. Is it possible that the aircraft had come in contact, or the pilot had come in contact, or it compromised the cockpit, that may have led to the aircraft's loss of control in flight? The other thing I'm interested in is were the floats armed, which would indicate that the pilot was able to deploy them. Was he incapacitated or not to be able to do that? It did not look to me that the floats were indeed deployed.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Those are last part I hadn't heard in our coverage yesterday, so that adds something to it. On our tablet, I'll ask you a question about the flight path, which was really short from the Wall Street heliport. You can animate it and see they just went up on the west side of Manhattan, up by the George Washington Bridge, and kind of made a U-turn and came back. There were some reports that maybe there was an issue with fuel, which I found kind of interesting. And then, of course, I'd add to that the footage. So a couple of things. Number one, the chopper falling down, we've seen this already, just so fast from this Bruce Wall, this guy who posted it, video. But then if I pause it for a second, this, I guess, is what people are talking about, right? So, you have at least multiple parts of it. And then there's another video angle right here where you could see the part of a propeller or rotor falling to the ground on a different side. So two parts. So talk about the fact that they just went up the river and came back, okay, and then what you pick up in those videos.
No, excellent points that you've made there. So I have flown that route more times than I could ever remember, and that is a very typical route. To go up the Hudson River, up to the George Washington Bridge. If you look at the helicopter route map for New York City, the exclusion area that they're operating in on the Hudson River ends just about up there by the George Washington Bridge.
Okay.
So that's a pretty common place to turn around and come back and continue the sightseeing. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would say fuel starvation would be pretty remote. This aircraft broke up in flight. It didn't appear to me to run out of fuel. What people don't maybe understand about helicopters is that the helicopter itself, the fuselage, is not what's flying, it's the rotor system. And when you look at the rotor blades in that image right there falling to earth, you see how they're still spinning, they're still actually flying. And attached to them, it appears to be part of the mast. The mast is what attaches the spinning rotor blades to the aircraft. Going back to the probability of a bird strike, you have pitch change controls, pitch change or PC links that provide the pilot input to the rotor system in flight. And if those PC links are compromised by a bird strike, a drone, or something that come in contact with it, that could also create a loss of control that we're witnessing here.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.